All right, back out in the garage, working on the Jetstar 3 bits and pieces. I get the old sandblast cabinet hooked up. I did get some new the thin protective film. I got some new ones of those off of that online Big River store. Anyway, I don't know how long they're going to last, but anywho, I'm just slowly working on sandblasting all the bits I've got that I can work on. Got the front pulley done this morning. Yesterday, I managed to get the front cover that holds the main seal done and the cup for the air cleaner. Picked up a new toy as well. Online auction deal. So anywho, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm working on. I got a call out to Missouri sometime this coming week. This is Sunday the 11th, I believe. Anyway, call out there to get rings and rod bearings ordered. I really can't. Well, I'm just clean up mode for now until I get those parts. So I'll probably try and clean up the valve cover today, maybe yet, and then that adapter plate. Try and get it cleaned up, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I did yesterday. I didn't film, but I did take the 52R back down to the farm. Got it put in the barn. Had to move one of the other tractors that I had just dropped into the barn, and then when I went to put the R in, I was like, oh, I didn't put that in a very good spot. That feels like there's a whole bunch more stuff that could be cleaned up. Looks like some of that's got, yeah, it's got a lot of grease on it. That's got a lot of grease on it. Where is, did I bury it? Yeah, of course I did. I have to move this stack. I think I'm gonna rearrange this and bring my gas tank parts washer out here where I can get to it. I wonder what else we got in there because I want to get as much of that loose stuff off as I can. Yeah, there's a bunch on that thing there too. Bolts with this wire loop. Those they don't look too bad. But we'll definitely soak these things in the gas overnight to get the schmutz off of them. Speaking of wire wheeling, need to clean up my drywall knives. I was helping some friends out, and then I got my illness and I didn't make it back, and then they didn't get cleaned up very well. Left wet, so they rusted. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I say we got a coat of primer and some brown. I'm using Rust-Oleum brown leather. Wow, semi-gloss or gloss, I don't know what it is, but it's a little too dark. But you know, it'll be good enough for this tractor that's going back to being a work tractor. I'm probably going to put a second coat on these guys later today. Get this bad boy cranking again. As soon as I get a couple more pieces, I did get this one. That pipe's cleaned up, taped up. It's taped because that's the section that actually goes into the block or the head or whatever that is completely covered, and have to have O-ring. There's O-ring seals, so that's why I put the blue tape on there to protect the clean metal where the O-rings need to seal. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, I got a coat of paint on those two water tubes on the front pulley, and I got a second coat over here on those pieces there. I've got a small pile of parts here that I have started cleaning up. I knocked all the build up grease off all that stuff with my wire wheel in the grinder. Finally broke down and replaced the wheel because my old one was, I don't know if that shows up or not, but I have used it so much, like the side of the wheel on the right is like almost down it. Anyway, put the new wheel on, and then it immediately just started chucking wires across the garage. First time I use it, sparks and stuff. I had forgotten how aggressive those things can be when they're new. I have decided I am not going to try to wire wheel nuts and bolts and stuff with it like I normally would. I'm not sure how I'm going to clean that stuff up, but anyway, had I known how, I started cleaning up the, had I known how obstinate the old gaskets were going to be. Of course, the wheel on my DeWalt is about gone, and unfortunately the little mechanism that you use to hold the shaft in place so that you can change those is worn out. So I'm not sure how I'm ever going to change that. I may just have to replace the grinder, but I have to work hard to grind this old gasket off. And I got to tell you, it smells fabulous. And if you can't hear the sarcasm in my voice when I say that, let me tell you, I mean it as sarcastically as you can possibly imagine. So, but I'm gonna work on, try to get that cleaned up a little better so it's ready for primer and paint. And then I'm gonna work on the side cover, get it. There's not much paint to worry about getting off of it, but I do want to knock off what is there. And then, yeah, we'll see if we can get more stuff brown today. So, anywho, I'll be back. All right, still working on the Jetstar 3. I wire wheeled that real good, but there was just so much oil and stuff because the gasket leaks so bad on all of it. I also noticed I'm gonna have to get us a flat plate or something and flatten, because the the plate is buckled around every one of those holes where they over tighten it. I say I wire wheeled it real good, but there was so much oil and stuff. We used some magic grease remover stuff. Made a puddle on the floor. Shh, don't tell the EPA. Anywho, what else we cleaned? What else we worked on? Oh, yeah, over here on this end of the garage, I rearranged the corner. Got the adapter plate soaking. I wish there was a couple more inches of cheap gas in there, so we'd have to keep flipping the dent end, but that's cleaned up pretty decent. So I'm ready to put the second coat on some of this stuff, so see if we can make her brown. Paint. Do not criticize my painting technique. I'm not a professional painter. Not even a mechanic professional. I'm not even an amateur. Yeah, I'm an amateur mechanic, but I'll call that pretty good there. It's brown. Nice thing about painting this time of year, you don't have to worry about freaking bugs landing in your fresh coat of paint, which is guaranteed to happen if you paint in the summertime. I painted a 4020 John Deere for father of a good friend. I've known her since kindergarten. Oh, back, I don't know, I was in college at the time. Anyway, man, that hood, I don't know if you've ever been around a 4020 John Deere, but there's like miles of sheet metal on a 4020 hood. And I would lay down a good coat of paint. I'm just gonna put two coats on. Those are done. Anyway, I'd have, man, that hood would just be perfect. Come out a couple hours later and there'd be a dozen gnats, flies, spiders, you name it, all over it. We ended up getting some plastic and building a tent over the thing out in the barn to finally get the last. Of course, when you get that stuff, you got to sand it down, give it a light sand, and paint it again. After about the third or fourth, that thing, oh shoot, I missed something. I'm gonna give this thing here its first coat. It's the Oh, it's the little bolt thing that goes into the strap that goes around the air cleaner. There. Oh, it's got a coat of paint. Probably should have straightened it before I painted it, but it'd be all right. Anywho, we finally got a decent coat of paint on that 4020, and shoot, that was 30 years ago or better, 35 years ago. Last I knew, it still looked pretty decent. So, but he bought the paint. He went to John Deere and bought the John Deere brand paint, or John Deere buckets. I don't know if John Deere made their own paint, but it was John Deere paint. And yeah, I think we're gonna call those pieces pretty good. When that dries, I'll call that pretty good. I got some stuff to do in the house. I still got down here on this thing down on the bottom side. It's got that little cover plate. I think I want to take that off so I can wire wheel in and around it. There's too many nooks and crannies to get in and clean, and that plate might actually end up over here in the old JobSmart too. I don't know yet. We'll see. You'll find out later when I bring you back. See you then. Alright, back out in the garage. It's warming up. We'll get like mid-40s here in Indiana today. Anyway, paint's mostly dry, a little light. That could use some more paint. It does feel a little sticky, but anyway, nothing like peeling off masking to reveal the clean metal underneath the nice paint job. Is it gonna come off there all the way? All of it? Did I get it all off? I don't think so, because I'm still seeing blue. Yeah. Anyway, one thing I think I'm gonna do with this thing is paint this side. But I noticed it looks like there's a pin or something in this key. I don't know why. I don't think that's supposed to be in there. And it sticks up proud a little bit, which means the bolt that clamps this to the crankshaft that pinches this surface against the governor to make sure the governor works right couldn't be all the way tight. I just don't see how that's possible with that little pin sticking out. There's a lot of tape there still. So we're going to be doing some digging into that. And I don't press that tape off later, but we will be priming and we'll turn the heater back on, get this warmed back up. But here's what one pipe looks like, all painted with the masking tape off of where it will be inserted into the motor engine. Engine, not motor. Man, Mr. Shanahan would whoop me if he heard me say motor. It's an engine, not a motor. All right, I had a spot here. Yeah, that's thin. I'm gonna put some more paint on that. Let's see, how can we do this? I had it on here. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. That might get a whole nother coat. And I don't think I put 2 coats on the little draw pin. Next thing I'm going to do is I wire wheeled all the grease off. We will fire up the sandblaster and get this stuff here sandblasted. And then I'll have to figure out all the nuts and bolts that came off of that stuff over here. How I'm going to clean that. Oh, square nut thing. What the heck is that off the? Oh, that stayed on there. Oh, you know what? I'll bet that's the square washer that goes on the threaded side. All right. Well, I'll get this stuff sandblasted. I'll probably just get the heat back on, get it warmed up in here some better. Get this stuff sandblasted. prime this. We'll prime that. Give it a little bit for the paint to set up, or the primer to dry, and then we'll get another coat of paint on all this stuff. Feels like I'm gonna have to get more hooks to hang stuff on. I'm gonna have to find some more wire. Huh. Yeah, no big deal. Anyway, that's what I got going on in the old Jetstar 3. I'll be back. Alright, back out on the Jetstar 3. Doing a little work. I fired up the handheld rotary schmutz remover, and I worked on the side of the block. Here I got all the old gasket side cover gasket is off. Start cleaning up some of the block and stuff. It's funny, everywhere where I got these holes where there should have been bolts, when the wheel would go over it, it was like sucking greasy, oily stuff out of it. So we're gonna have to do some degreasing. That'll get painted when the side cover goes back on. I don't know if I had this in the last video or last spot or not, but I did. No, maybe I didn't. Well, there's still some gasket there. I need to run the wire wheel over the top here, because there's, you can see that there's a spot right there where there's still some more gasket. Get that cleaned up real good. The oil pickup screen is ready to go back on. I'm going to take this plastic oil pressure line off, and we will run a new copper line. I do need to get a new oil filter. I've said that before, but in the process of all this grinding and stuff, I'm gonna have to do some cleaning on the crank, because I've flung hooeys all over it, and also back down inside the crankcase we'll get the pressure sprayer pump cleaner outer thing going, and we'll rinse that out some more. And I also found there's like some pockets. Let's see, let's get some light. Thank you, Brother Brad, for the fancy light. There's a couple spots down in here where it's holding, I don't know if that's oil. Oh yeah, that's oil. Oil and diesel fuel that we'll need to clean out a little better. And looks like we got a spot up here that needs clean, and we'll try and get all the schmuck out of the crankcase before we put it back together, is the plan. Cleaner it is when we start, better it'll be when we're done. So that's the plan. Right off. So, in the process of, I did run the wire wheel over this. In the process of wire wheeling, I got into the original freaking wire to the distributor and ate the insulation off in a couple spots. So yeah, we'll put a new wire on there. Probably not a bad idea anyway, because that's, 1964 or 5 vintage wire. We'll put a new one on. Anyway, yeah. So that's where we're at. We'll get this cleaned up. I did get plenty of coats of paint on the pulley. I think it's the alternator bracket. That is the band that holds the cup onto the air cleaner. That is the bracket there that holds the water tube into the block. That is definitely alternator bracket there. You can't see squat because you're getting bright LED lights right in your face. And over here, that bracket that I was showing you, it's got 2 legs that capture this little bump out here on this tube and hold that in the block. Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at for now. It's Wednesday the 14th, I think, 13th, 14th, whatever, January, something like that. Whatever. I'm done. It's been a long couple days at work and stuff, and I've been working on projects in the house. In fact, I'm getting ready to go back in and throw some more mud on that wall, or in the corner. I'm redoing my son's old bedroom. I had redone it before, back when he was real little, like infant, so 22, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And my drywall skills are not up to par back then. They're probably still not great, but anywho, I suppose instead of just pointing you at that, if we do that, no, you won't go that way. Go that way. Yeah, oh, good Lord, nobody wants to see that. Anyway, going back and trying to improve upon the stuff I did 25 years ago, and there's a corner in his bedroom that's got the old brick chimney. So I got a brick corner that's meeting up against drywall that I hung that had a huge gap in it, and of course nothing's flat, nothing's whatever. So I'm slowly trying to make it better to make Mama happy. I think it's a losing battle. I mean, that's not a losing battle. It's a battle worth fighting for, something like that, whatever. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'll keep plugging away at the old Jetstar. I'm hoping to have her done fairly quick, because I got Miss Donna's got a Z that has low oil pressure. I think I've talked about it in videos a long time ago. I want to get this out, get the Jetstar 3 out, get the garage cleaned up, bring her Z over, figure out why it doesn't have any oil pressure, go through that motor, get that thing up and running for her. It's a good family. I've known them for a while. See what we can do for that, get her going. Which I think she does want to sell the tractor, but she can't really sell it. She's not getting nearly enough out of it with it apart, sort of. So we'll put her back together, figure out what's going on with the oil pressure. I've got a theory based on past experience with my grandpa's tractor on what's causing the problem. Of course, I'm probably going to be way off base, but I don't know how you guys. How do you do that where you get you like centered? My camera's messed up. No, it's my hand. I don't know. Anyway, so I got to get the Jetstar 3 done. That's because I'd like to have it back at the tractor show to shuffle stuff at the corn sheller. We'll do videos on that. Hopefully my kids can be there. I can get maybe my daughter. She's artsy fartsy. She would be a good camera person while we're shelling corn, to come up with a video of, if you were a video. I'll get the. Never. I got too many lights in the sky. Give her some instruction. Hey, if you're watching a video on what was going on with the corn sheller, what would you want to see? And just let her wander around and video and talk and do her thing, and then we'll, splice and edit. I don't edit. I don't edit. I drink beer and fix things. So, anywho, man, that'd be a good name for a YouTube channel. I drink beer and fix things. Not necessarily in that order. Anyway, I think I'm done with this one for now. I haven't uploaded a video in a while. A couple days, 3, 4, I don't know. Not like when I was off for Christmas, New Year's break. And it's probably going to be a little bit, because coming up soon, I got a little vacation coming up that's going to have me away from the garage. Anyway, cool. Let's get that out of there. That wouldn't be a very good thumbnail, would it? That's where we're at on the Jetstar 3. We're just cleaning and really basically just cleaning and making things brown. I'll be back.